I guess, pivotal people that I met, and it was really just our personal relationship, was either Paul Walker or Patrick Swayze. Meeting Patrick at a young
Paul
age,
Walker, the guy
Pat,
from Need for from the
yeah,
what?
Fast and Furious. So like I was in Running Scared with Paul Walker, and then I actually did a kids movie basically with Patrick Swayze where he played
Yeah.
my dad. And look, Paul Walker was
This,
like,
just this sentence for somebody who's not from the acting world
yeah,
is wild.
yeah,
This one time where Patrick Swayze played my
yeah,
dad. This is what I
yeah,
learned from it.
yeah. Well, and like for me, it was more with Patrick, it was more of it wasn't, the thing is, what I would say is what I learned mostly from the people I worked with wasn't necessarily about acting. It was more about living life as an actor, and realizing that you can still just be yourself, like you don't necessarily have to be that crazy person that everyone wants you to be, like Paul Walker was just like a big brother to me. He was just cool. He was just awesome. And then, I truly believe that he is someone that, again, I mean, obviously anyone who dies too early, it's too early, but I feel like that he is someone who could have impacted the world so much greater than he was ever able to, just because his life was sadly cut short. Um, and Patrick Swayze was more of like a cautionary tale, like he was
Really?
such an amazing human being, like awesome guy, but he had deep, deep personal troubles. And it was again from him growing up in the life that he grew up in, like the Hollywood days, he when I worked with him, I believe he was probably in his 50s, I want to say. Um, and he had been in the industry since he was like, as far as I know, like in his teens, like 17, 18 kind of thing. And like the amount of loss, the amount of, chaos, the amount of just everything was way more hidden back then, like that was in like the 70s, the 80s, like that's when like men were men and we don't talk about our feelings. And but he was also a kid who came from that type of a family. He was like, his dad and his four brothers were all ranchers. Like they didn't talk about their issues, they didn't talk about their problems. And when he said he wanted to be a ballet dancer, it was like, create committing a sin basically, right? So he, but then he was in Dirty Dancing, and that's what made him famous, and it was something that even 40 years later he hid the fact that he enjoyed dancing because it wasn't a manly thing to do, and it's just one of, sorry, now of course my dog's barking again. I'll be right back.
Let's take a little break, Cameron. I also have to go to the toilet, okay? The
Gotcha.
bathroom.
Cool. All right.
And how do you feel about the fact that Paul Walker appeared in movies after he died, pretty much?
Well, it's yeah, I mean it's kind of funny because we actually technically did the same thing that Fast and Furious did with his brother. So there was a scene in Running Scared where basically the shot, it's kind of like he goes to investigate a gunshot that happened, and while he's in the, like everyone who watched the movie thought it was like an animation, like a CGI cut that we did. But basically what it does is it kind of follows the, what happened, and it goes, basically it follows the bullet past him backwards, and you see it go past who you think is Paul Walker. And that was actually his brother. So kind of the same thing that they did with Fast and Furious, where they used his brother to finish off his movie. I thought it was good. At the end of the day, that's what he was doing, and obviously he loved those movies. That those movies were his life for probably I would say the last like 10 years of his life. That's pretty much all he did was those and a few other movies, obviously. Um, but no, I mean, I think they did a good job in doing it, and I mean, obviously it's immortalized because of what it is and who he is, but I think they really kind of put that home as far as, you know, they gave the fans what they wanted, and at the end of the day, I think that's what he would have wanted too. The rights to allow whoever to do like four movies at least with his AI likeness after he dies. Um, I think, somewhere in every actor, that's what they enjoy about movies and being in them is that basically you have your legacy immortalized already through film, especially now in digital. If any of your movies made it to digital, then you're around forever. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think again, I think that he was someone who at least my generation, I would say most people were impacted by him in some way. I was a huge fan of the Fast and Furious movies myself. Maybe not so, honestly, maybe not so much since he's been out of them, but I think they got a little redundant after a little while after they did like 25 of them. But, like,
I
but
saw a stream
yeah.
like 2 hours ago of Vin Diesel taking a Lamborghini, jumping from one skyscraper into another, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
so that
this
was
is
about the
that's not
time
how
where
the
I was like,
series started. I'm like,
yeah. I
yeah,
was
I'm like,
like, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, as soon as The Rock and Jason Statham joined it, I was like, I don't even want to watch these movies anymore, man. But but no, I think deep down we all want, or I won't say we all want to, we all hope that again, as artists and creators or creatives, that's what you want to do. You want to be able to share your creative side, your content, or your art, or, your life or whatnot. And, I believe most of us hope that that helps somebody through something, or they can relate or whatnot, or they just enjoy it and somehow it makes their day better. So, yeah, I mean, as an actor myself, that's all I can hope for in my legacy or whatnot is that hopefully people will enjoy my movies for a long time after I'm gone.